Autophiles. My hair is doing things. We are at Sepang circuit, but not really the actual circuit. This is some new offshoot. Looks like it's going to rain like crazy. And this is a Mercedes-Benz defensive driving tutorial. I haven't been to one of these in a long time. Remember when I first joined the industry, it seemed like every 6 months either BMW or Porsche or Mercedes or some other premium brand would like host one of these things. Oh my god, this hair. They would host one of these like defensive driving or some driving course of some sort on the track with performance cars, usually AMG or M cars. You might think that you're a really good driver. You might think that no one else can drive as good as you, that you don't make mistakes, or when you make mistakes it's someone else's fault. And I have to admit, when I was just starting to drive, my first 5 to 10 years I would say of driving, you really think that you know things that other people don't, and it's not true. That's your pride. You're actually a terrible driver when you first start off. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Don't let yourself tell you differently. You are a shit driver. Get it through your head. And it's courses like this that teach you the basics that no one else will teach you, or rather our driving schools won't teach us. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And even after learning all of this, you still need a lot of experience, and you need your hormone levels to come down a little bit, because when you're in your 20s, you're not really thinking behind the wheel, you're just going with your gut. So anyway, what can I learn from a thing like this defensive driving course after, I don't know, 15 years plus 20 years? I don't know how long I've been driving. I've been driving since I was 17. I'm sure there's a lot I can learn. That's all I can say. Even though I've done a lot of these before, there's always something to learn. And well, we'll see lah. Maybe I won't learn anything. Maybe the rain will start coming down and they'll cancel the whole event, and then drove all the way here for nothing. We'll see. Positive. I was going to say pessimistic. That's a word. See you in the next scene. Okay, the event is over. It was actually a launch event as well. I didn't get the memo, but they launched 2 cars. The SL 63, the hybrid version. So it is the fastest SL ever. 2.2 million bucks. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I know, I'm fine, I'm safe. And also it's windy. They also launched the AMG GT second generation, the 63 version. So 4 litre V8, no hybrid. Pretty damn fast. 3 point something second car. Less than 2 million. That was a $1.8 million car. The SL convertible hybrid, 2.2 million. All these cars are Kayangan cars. We don't think about them, But I'm sure to some multimillionaire it makes sense. They're over there thinking about, should I buy one this month or wait until the end of the year? Different kind of lifestyle than us. But anyway, the defensive driving, did I learn anything? I think I did, for sure. The first thing we did was actually a skid pad kind of test. I brought you to a lake so you have something to look at besides my face. So yeah, it was a skid pad test whereby we would drive the car over a little treadmill thing, and it would kick the back wheels out, and then there'd be water all over the road, and we just like have to regain our control and get the car back in a straight line. And it's a little bit counterintuitive, but I think I managed to do it. A lot of not thinking so much and feeling out the car, but I definitely learned to not trust my brain too much, because your brain will tell you to step on the brakes, but you have to not do that, because if you step on the brakes the car will spin out. And that did happen to our co-driver, but on his second attempt he went even faster than me, and he managed to gain control, and that was a more challenging attempt. The second thing we did was a slalom test, and there I was a bit disappointed myself, because I used to be quite okay at these things. In fact, my first slalom challenge was a Porsche 2015 drive experience thing, and I was so stupid back then that I just whacked a Porsche Panamera through a slalom course without thinking. And even the instructor was like trying to get me to slow down, but I didn't realize what I was doing wrong. But because I didn't think about it so much, I actually ended up winning that timed slalom. So I still have the little scale model of the 911 GT3 RS from winning that. but I totally didn't deserve it. But yeah, on the whole, I don't know, this was not the full driving experience that I expected. In previous years, whenever they have driving experiences like this, it's usually, you know, accompanied with some really good trainers, and they give you a lot of time behind the wheel, and they go through step by step, you know, there's no skipping steps. So I thought before we close off this video, I would just give you some minor advice, the stuff that they used to teach us back in, you know, 2015, 2016. The first thing you do whenever you go in a car, and this was not mentioned today at all, very surprising, is adjust your seat. You know, make sure you're in a good driving position. Make sure your pedals are within reach, so you don't want to be stretching your leg out like that when you're pressing the brake all the way. You want it still to be a little bit bent at the knee. You don't want to be sitting all the way back. No matter how short you are or tall you are, you don't want to be sitting so far back that you have to stretch out like this. And you also don't want to be sitting so close to the steering wheel that your knee is kind of wedged up against the steering wheel. So if I'm sitting very close like that, this is not safe either. You want to have some distance. You don't want this to happen. You want to sit just at a perfect position where your leg has some room to move up and down. It sounds basic, but a lot of people don't think about it. They just think, oh, you know, whatever I fit, I can just start driving. No, get in the car. If it's not your car, adjust your seat. Make sure you're in a very, like this is too far for me already. I kind of messed my control. So this is the ideal distance for me, where I can still grip the steering wheel wherever my hands are, can still get a grip. And yeah, mirrors also very important. Make sure you can see a little bit of your car like this, but most of it should be the road, and it should be low enough that you can see the cars that are behind you. You don't want it so low that you're just checking the ground down there. You don't want it so high that you're probably going to miss some motorbike. You got to have enough of a view to see everything. Both sides, same thing. Just a little bit of your car so that you have context as to where those cars are in relation to your car. It's important that you see a little bit of your own car. Okay? And then you also have to check your blind spots whenever you make lane changes. Of course, this mirror, very important as well. Make sure you can see out of your mirror. Make sure it's not too high or low. A good guide is just to have the headrests kind of bordering the bottom and the headliner bordering the top. Yeah, super simple, but a lot of people forget. And I don't know why, but I was expecting to see that today, and also film it and show you guys, but the instructors were in a rush to get all of us through, and yeah, we just didn't get that action. So what else? Besides that, don't drive beyond your abilities. Like today I realized that when I was doing the slalom track, the first time I did it, I was like, I think I misshot everything, you know. I was going too fast in and too slow out, so everything was a mess. And then when my co-driver took over and he drove, it was kind of perfect. Like he nailed it the second time he did it, and I was like, yeah, why wasn't I doing it that way? And I was just like pushing it too hard the first time I drove. I didn't take a slow run, a practice run. I just went in too fast. Yeah, that was my mistake. So definitely don't go in too hot and too hard. If you don't know the track, if you don't know the road that you're on, don't assume that you know when to brake, when to accelerate, when to corner. Always have a practice run first. If it's an unfamiliar road, don't go at your limit. Go a couple of stops lower than your limit, and prioritize safety. You know, you don't have to be the fastest thing on the planet. And in fact, something that I have grown to appreciate as I've grown older is just taking fuel efficiency as a challenge. Like when you're younger, it's like, oh, how fast can I get through this traffic? How fast can I get home? Or just like building up as much speed as possible. All those things are exciting. But now that I'm in my 30s, the thing that excites me is how can I maximize this one tank of petrol? You know, how can I get 600 kilometers out of a Vios full tank? These are difficult challenges to do, especially if you're just daily driving, right? You can't control the traffic and all that, but you can control the way you drive, how progressive you are on the brake, how progressive you are on the throttle. And you may not think these are safety related aspects, but they definitely do help in your awareness of how you're driving and in your awareness of how traffic is moving, anticipating people braking. Because if you want to be efficient, you can't just jam the brake and accelerate. You got to predict how traffic is going to move in the next 10 to 20 seconds. Then you put your input in. Might sound boring, but it's actually very, very interesting once you get into it. And it's very, very, I think it's overall a positive. It's a good thing for the environment to be efficient with your fuel use. Like I'm right not right now because the engine is running and I'm sitting here talking to you. Anyway, that's it for my video today. It's actually mostly to test out my new camera. I started shooting with my iPhone, but I switched over to this camera. Let's see if it worked. And some of the footage is from my DJI action. Hopefully I got some of the settings right. I'm trying to learn to make the video quality better. Thanks for watching. Autophiles signing out.